Rick Sturdivant. I live in Springdale, Arkansas. I have a house that was built back in 2004, and I used spray foam insulation to seal the house, bring the R factor up. One of the things I did was make the attic a conditioned space, which means the foam was actually applied to the underside of the decking instead of right above the ceiling. And over the years, I started smelling some things, some unusual stuff was happening, and believed that some sort of off-gassing or something was coming from the foam upstairs. It was a fairly new thing. Called the foam company back, and they came over, stuck a knife in it, pushed on it, said they really didn't think there was anything wrong with it. As time progressed, in about 2009, it really started getting bad. I noticed in the winter, in the heating season, when the heat rises, comes up in the attic, it would cause the smell to get worse. Well, over time, I couldn't find anybody that knew how to test here, so I myself found a company that provided me with a test kit, and I started running tests myself. And as what I came up with was some unusual readings. Right here, for example, with this Prism Analytics, who I used for test results, you can see right here what's marginal and what's acceptable. And my house actually read in the marginal section, which means that it was above what is acceptable. They could have been higher readings, but all of mine turned out between 400 and 500. Now, as what I did is in this process, I ran two different air samples, one in the living space downstairs and one in the attic. All the readings had the same chemicals present. The attic was slightly higher, but not much. Eventually, I narrowed it down and went and took a foam sample, bagged it up, sent it, had them heated up, and found out it was the culprit that was off-gassing. Now, foam can off-gas from a lot of different things. One of them is being mixed wrong. That wasn't the case with this. What made it so unusual, it was actually sprayed on a humid day or possibly when the decking was wet. It didn't adhere to the surface and actually pulled compounds that were in the epoxy that the particle board was put together out of there and mixed them with the foam, which created an off-gassing that made two different readings out of whack. We don't want to get too technical here, but we've got benzene and toluene. Normally benzene readings are only half of what toluene is. This one is over twice as much as the toluene reading, so they're just backwards. That was a problem. Also, what we discovered that there was another reading that was very disturbing. It was called methyl methacrylate. And as you can see here, it's up in the 10,000 range, which is way high. That gets you into almost definitely going to be some effects from the exposure to it. So we're going to take a little trip upstairs. We're going to look in the attic now and see exactly what's going on. We're up here in the attic now where the culprit is, and as you can see, we've got some people up here removing the old foam. We've had to take it out and scrape it, the surface area, and get it prepared for whatever, whether we put more foam on it or not. Over here you can see some of it still tied together. You can still see the discoloration and the painstaking that is taking place to remove it. It's not a simple process, is it, Robbie?
No, sir.
As you can see, he's wearing a respirator, and we're dealing with off-gassing as we scrape it out. They've got some fans and different things up here to try to avoid it being too toxic and so forth.
Wow. Doing a good job.
Yeah, we're about 25% of the way done.